Sairam students, let's begin with the today's session of Class 8 Value Education. Children, I'll be reading one doha for you all here. काल करे सो आज करे सो अब, पल में प्रलय होएगी, बहुरी करेगा कब. Yes, you all are very much familiar with this popular doha. Who has written this? By Kabir, Saint Kabirdas. So children, in today's session, we will be learning about Saint Kabirdas. We'll be doing lesson number 9 of Value Education, Saint Kabirdas. Kabirdas was a great saint and a mystic poet. Now, what is that mystic? A person who tries to gain religious or spiritual knowledge through prayers. So, he was a mystic poet whose writings greatly influenced the Bhakti movement. There are controversies. Now, what is that controversies? That means, and you can say the heated or arguments or the prolonged discussion regarding his birth and caste. It is generally accepted that Kabir was brought up by a Muslim, a weaver by profession. Legend says that Kabir was found lying as a child in a lake called Lahar or Talav near Kashi on a leaf of lotus. So where Kabir was found as a child was found in a lake. Yeah, that is called as Lahar or Talav, that is near Kashi, and he was found on a leaf of lotus. A childless weaver, childless means they were not having any child. What were their names? Named Niru and his wife Nima took compassion. Compassion means they showed sympathy, they showed pity on the baby and brought him up. Kabir lived in Kashi during the reign of Sikandar Lodi. He was the disciple of the great religious reformer Swami Ramananda. His initiation, now initiation means children beginning. His beginning took place in a queer way. Queer means totally different way. Kabir had no guru and he wanted to become the disciple of Swami Ramananda. But he had a doubt. Now, what was the doubt? Kabir was having that doubt whether Ramananda would accept him as his disciple. Why he was confused in that way? Because he being a Muslim. So, Kabir was a bit confused in that way whether Swami Ramananda would accept him as his disciple or not because he was Muslim. So one day, when Ramananda at early dawn was returning from his bath in the Ganges, what Kabir did? Kabir slept on the steps of Panchaganga Ghat. As it was dark, Ramananda unknowingly stepped on him. Immediately Ramananda exclaimed, Ram Ram. This was enough for Kabir. He treated these words as Guru Mantra. Children, you have learnt about the Guru Mantra, right? The chapter you have learned, and you know the power of Guru Mantra. So the moment Ramananda said these words, Ram Ram, so Kabir, he treated these words as Guru Mantra and prostrated. Prostrated means he bowed down and he did pranams. That means a sashtang namaskar, and said that he was his disciple now. Moved by Kabir's sincerity and devotion, Ramananda formally accepted him as his disciple. Kabir followed his teachings and participated in many philosophical discussions held by his master. His master means Swami Ramananda, with pandits and mullahs. Kabir was loved by both Hindus and Muslims. He preached the message of love and universal brotherhood. Now what is that preached? It means the religious teachings. Kabir was the first saint who harmonized. Harmonized means children who coordinated between Hinduism and Islam by preaching universal path which both Hindus and Muslims could thread together, means could follow together. So Kabir was following. He was he was a great. He was the first saint who has harmonized Hinduism and Islam together. Okay, and the Hindus and Muslims, they all were following his preaching. Kabir was a great devotee of Lord Rama. He was a great karma yogi. Karma yogi means, children, the person who believes in doing karma. While working on a loom, he was one with God. Loom means he was working in one of the textile mill there where he used to make that fabric by weaving. So it seems once Lord Rama himself completed the weaving of his shawl at the loom. See, this is a belief, like once Lord Rama gave him darshan in that way and he did his work. Kabir was a great poet, a skilled musician, and a composer of songs. He was fearless. He was a prophet. Prophet means, children, a spiritual teacher who preached his doctrine through popular verse. Kabir was a powerful saint with self realization, which enabled him to voice his views. Views means he could raise his voice against the existing misleadings in the name of the religion. He was having that power. He was a powerful saint and he was so powerful he could raise his voice against the wrong things, the misleadings that were just taken in the name of the religion. From Swami Ramananda, Kabir became acquainted with all the scriptures, Vedanta, and Upanishads. He picked up the doctrine of Ahimsa from the Vaishnavites. A large number of people used to gather at the loom or the marketplace. Why they were gathering there? To listen to his thought provoking songs. His message of universal love appealed to all. Kabir played the role of a teacher and social reformer by the medium of his writings. He had a great belief in Vedanta, Sufism, Vaishnavism, and Nath Sampradaya. He always applied the knowledge. See, we gain knowledge but we don't apply. But he always applied the knowledge that he gained through the various experiences of his life. See, always it is said experience is a great teacher, right? So experience, through your experiences we can learn many things. And Kabir was such a person who used to apply that knowledge that he has gained through his experiences of his life. He was always in the pursuit of truth, and nothing could hold him back. When Kabir died, his body was claimed by both the Hindus and the Muslims. Children, in the beginning only we saw there were controversies among the Hindus and the Muslims, right? Whether he is Hindu or Muslim on his birth. So the Hindus wanted to cremate the body and the Muslims wanted to bury it. So after his death also, this was a conflict, like what should be done when they were quarreling. Then what happened there when they were quarreling, when Hindus and Muslims were quarreling? Kabir's apparition. Now what is that apparition, children? Spirit. That means you can see the image has been given to you. The spirit of Kabir appeared and told them that he was neither a Hindu nor a Muslim, and that he was both. He was nothing, and that he was all. This is what the people, those who were present, those who were quarreling at that time, they could hear this. Remove the shroud. Now, what is that shroud? That covering, okay? And behold the miracle. Really, children, the miracle happened there at that time. Now, let's see what was that miracle. when the shroud was removed, only a large quantity of flowers was found. Half of the flowers was taken by the king of Kashi and were burnt on the bank of the holy Ganges. A temple known as the Kabir Chora was built, which became a great pilgrimage for the followers of Kabir. The other half of the flowers was taken by the Muslims. And what they did there? They buried at the Mahagar, where Kabir died. So a mosque was built over the grave. This place became a pilgrimage for the Muslims. Kabir propagated the oneness of Ram Rahim, and he tried to bring unity among all. He advocated the notion, what was that notion? Koi bole Ram Ram, koi Khudai. So he doesn't make any difference in Ram Ram and Khudai. He says all are one. Which means whether you chant the name of Ram or Khudai, the fact is that there is only one God who is the creator of this beautiful world. Only people have to understand whether we say Ram or we say Rahim. It is actually one. There is no difference. So children, the lesson that we have seen, the moral that you are getting through this lesson is sincerity and devotion alone can only move a guru. Right? The way he was going down to in front of Swami Ramananda, we could see his sincerity, his devotion towards his guru, and even guru accepted him wholeheartedly. So this is what children you are getting to learn many things through Kabir's teaching, right? Now what our Shrima has taught us here, man's quest of God is actually divinization of himself. By devotion, that means bhakti, and acquiring by knowledge, that is jnana. Man not only attains high level of morality and perfection, but like philosophers, stone aims to transform the ignorant into wise. See, a man has that capability. If the man has attained perfection, they have that capability to perform. The ignorant person, the person who doesn't know anything, can be turned to a wise person. Such is the power that a man has, but only how it can be attained by high level of morality and perfection. Now children, you all have to learn this bhajan. Bhajo re Ram naam sukhdai. Ram naam ke do akshar mein sab sukh shanti milai. Bhajo re Ram naam sukhdai. So children, here today we have completed with the lesson Saint Kabirdas. Go through the lesson, read it again and again. It is really going to be very, very useful for you children to understand the meaning of that lesson. Okay, so read the lesson once or twice at least and try to solve the answers that has been given, that exercises that has been given at the back of the textbook. So see you in the next session children with a new lesson. Till then, take care.